Welcome to the World News on Myanmar International. I'm Sophie Wee. Canadian troops participating in a NATO-led operation in Afghanistan patrolled villages in the Panjwai district of Kandahar province on Saturday the 12th of June, ahead of a planned offensive in the coming months. The Canadian military stationed in Panjwai believes the Taliban have a strong influence on the residents there and are seeking to get them to break away the militants and help NATO forces clear the area of insurgents.
The purpose of this patrol is to get out into the community, now that they've been directly affected by the Taliban and the IEDs, that they do have power to stop this. If they're able to report these incidents to us, then we can deal with the bombs before they strike children or strike adults.
Thousands of U.S. troops are being deployed in the southern province of Kandahar, a Taliban stronghold, as part of a new counter-insurgency strategy. However, villagers in the Panjwai area are not happy with the Canadians.
These foreigners claim that they are here to bring security and they are our villagers, but instead they are bringing the household of the innocent. I know some of the houses were only inhabited by women and children. They don't ban the matter of them. I request them to stop bombing and searching their houses.
Canada is withdrawing its 2,800 troops from the insurgent southern stronghold by the end of next year. And there have been media reports that some senior military figures favor the redeployment of British troops. Large sheets of red and orange oil from the gushing Gulf of Mexico leak loomed less than 2 miles off the coast of Florida and Alabama on Saturday the 12th of June. BP contracted boat crews worked on the water to try and sop up the oil to keep it from making landfall. Skimming vessels dragged boom and workers dipped absorbent pom-poms into the water and brought them up onto the boats coated with thick oil. Boat captain Paul Redmond says skimming operations only take care of surface oil. He was more worried about the oil deeper in the Gulf. In Louisiana, wildlife experts searched for birds affected by the spill. Specialists with the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries conducted a search and rescue mission to find oil birds in and around the Grand Isle. Braving hours under the scorching sun, they found plenty of birds, but fortunately most of the birds were only moderately oiled. Experts say the reduction of capturing highly oiled birds in recent days could mean containment efforts are working, or that weather conditions and tidal patterns are helping keep the oil away. Teenage U.S. sailor Abby Sunderland was rescued safely from her stricken yacht in the remote southern Indian Ocean on Saturday the 13th of June. A boat launched from a fishing French vessel reached Sunderland at about 7:45 p.m. Eastern Australian time, the Australian Maritime Safety Authority said. Australian authorities provided air support. Sunderland left the United States in January on a widely criticized attempt to circumnavigate the world. Her yacht ran into trouble on Thursday as it was pounded by huge waves midway between Africa and Australia. Her dismasted yacht was spotted on Friday. Australian broadcaster ABC interviewed the 16-year-old on board the fishing vessel shortly after she was plucked from the sea.
And what sort of emotions were going through your head and feelings were you having over the last few days when you've been isolated out there?
I don't know. I think it's going to take a little while to... I'm still a little bit in shock from everything that's happened.
Were you quite scared out there? Can you tell us how you're feeling?
When stuff's going on out there, you can't really get too scared about it. I mean, it doesn't do any good. You do what you need to do. Set off EPIRBs. Keep the boat afloat, do all that. There's really not a whole lot more you can do. Getting all worried and scared about it really doesn't help anything. I'm definitely going to sail around the world again, or at least give it another try. I don't know when I'll get another chance to do it, but I've wanted to sail around the world for years, and I'm definitely going to do it sometime.
A 9-day extravaganza marking the culture and history of Vietnam, as well as art and cultures of the world, was drawn to a close on Sunday, June 13th, in the ancient capital, Hue. Thousands of Vietnamese and foreign tourists crowded the venue of the annual event, which kicked off on the 5th of June. This year's festival was themed Cultural Heritage during Integration and Development, and centered in Hue, with events also held in neighboring towns.
Every country and nation has its own cultural cultures, so Festival 2010 is a place to introduce the cultural cultures of Vietnam or Hue and other regions to the international communities, friends and overseas Vietnamese. It's also a place to gather and exchange the art and culture of different countries of 5 continents.
On Saturday evening, a colorful performance along the banks of the Perfume River at sunset marked the climax of the festival. Titled Legend of the Perfume River, dragon boats with performers clad in traditional costumes floated down the river against a 5-kilometer backdrop of historical buildings depicting the river's history, legends, and beauty.
The humans on the earth cannot live without rivers. Rivers is not only the living source of people, but it is also a source of emotions. Perfume River really is a legend, as it is not only the source of poetry, music, paintings, religious and ritual spirit. It speaks closely to the life of many ordinary people who earn a living on the river. Hue River is a cradle and a living source that helps Hue residents to move forward to the future.
Hundreds of South Korean football fans celebrated in the southern coastal city of Port Elizabeth, South Africa on Saturday after their team beat Greece 2-0 in a World Cup Group B match. Goals from Lee Jong-soo and captain Park Ji-sung early in each half gave South Korea only their second World Cup win on foreign soil and left Greece struggling to advance from a group that includes Nigeria and Argentina.
It was really awesome because I didn't really expect us to have such a big victory like that, and we won just like that, so I'm really happy, and we came all the way from Cape Town to watch this game, so we're really glad.
South Korea will play Argentina on June 17th, while the Greeks will meet Nigeria later that day. That's the end of the world news on Myanmar International. I'm Sophie Wee, and thank you for watching.